What's going on? So, I feel like there's so many people that are like addicted to social media. And I was literally just sitting here thinking how it's like lately for like the past, I don't know, 2 months? Yeah, probably like 2 months. I've like been completely like out of the loop a little bit. Like I still watch, YouTube videos like occasionally, and I still like post on social media once in a while, but like not as much as I used to at all. Like I used to be on social media all the time. I used to stay up to, I used to keep up with like just not just keep up with my comments, but I would keep up with, commenting on other people's things. Like I was on this, like in my mind I was on this grind, right? I was grinding, and don't get me wrong, I'm still on the grind technically. It's just for the past 2 months I've kind of like separated myself, stepped away. Like in my mind I've kind of like stepped away from society in a way, where it's like I've stepped away from the rules of society. I've stepped away from the bullshit. I've been trying to go within myself. I'm trying to evolve. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to change. And not just, because so many people look at it like, if you wanted to get your life together, you could just get a job and then you'll be good, because then you could pay for your apartment and then you'll be good, right? And it's like, and then you could work on this other stuff. It's like, no. If I don't work on my fucking mind now, I don't get another chance. Like I just turned 25 on Christmas. This past Christmas 2018. I turned 25. And it's like, now that it's the new year, it's 2019, I've just genuinely been sitting here thinking to myself, like, dude, enough is enough. Like, I just looked in the mirror. Like, I made a song the other day. I haven't made a song in a while. And, like, I started the song out with, I'm sick of this shit. Because, like, genuinely, I'm sick of this shit. It's like in the song, like in the beginning of the song, I said, I'm sick of this shit. I know who I am, so I know that I shouldn't be living like this. And it was just basically, when I make music, I'm kind of like talking to myself in a way. But, like, it was just, I just know the life that I should be living, but I'm living, I feel like I got the mindset of someone who's successful, but yet I'm living the life of someone who's not. But at the same time, in my mind, I'm successful, because I'm like, that's exactly why I've been separating from society. This is how I've gained this way of thinking, I guess. I've been doing plant dietas. I don't know if you guys know what plant dietas are, but like I did a plant dieta with Michigan hirsuta. I did a plant dieta with Michigan javanica. I did a plant dieta with motherwort. I did a plant dieta. Well, I wouldn't say it was a plant dieta. This was only like 3 days with blue vervain. I actually just took some blue vervain butter like an hour ago. But I've just been trying to dive deep within my mind and just trying to find myself. And it's been helping me separate from society, because it's like I feel like I'm no longer trapped to, I don't know, I'm not trapped, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, so sometimes I feel mentally trapped, right? But in life, physically, like, I feel like I'm free, but yet trapped. Like, life is a fucking paradox, I guess. It really is a damn paradox. Because yesterday I was thinking to myself, like, I was kind of sad, right? And I was thinking to myself, man, like, I'm sad because I want to get back to the grind. I want to get back to, like, I want to build enough money so I could restart my business. Like, because I know if I had the money right now, I could restart my herbal business. There's not the same issues that I had to deal with last year, like with the whole Kratom thing. There are now credit card companies that now can accept Kratom vendors, so it's like I wouldn't have to deal with that. And there's other issues I wouldn't have to deal with. So I'm probably going to restart my business, probably my goal is, March or April. But I just want that to be now. But at the same time, I could make that now. Like I said, I could go get a job and I could go pay the bills, and then I could save up. But by the time I save up enough anyways, it would be like March or April. But I'm just saying, separating from society, though, has allowed me to realize that humans are chasing false happiness. We're chasing false security. We're chasing false comfort. It's not real. The comfort money gives you is not fucking real. Because if your comfort can be taken away once the money's taken away, then your comfort is as false as the money is. Because it's no different than the drugs. I mean, humans are just... We are creatures that are addicting to everything we fucking come in contact with. Terence McKenna talked about how we are creatures who addict. We addict to everything. We addict to ourselves. We addict, to each other. We addict to drugs. We addict to TV. We're addicted to everything. We're addicted to our phones. We're addicted to social media. We can't get out of social media, and we can't get out of First it was you can't get out of TV. When the TV was invented, the whole society was worried because the kids were watching TV and they were going to rot their brains, and it was no different than a heroin addiction. And nowadays, nobody in the world thinks like that. It doesn't cross their mind that if you talk to somebody and told them TV is a drug, they'd laugh at you, even though it is. Even though, I mean, look at a heroin addict and look at TV. I mean, Terence McKenna used that analogy. And it's like, because a heroin addict sits on the couch, he can get high and then sit on the couch for 5 hours and do nothing. A TV addict can sit on the couch for 5 hours, eat some potato chips, and watch and do nothing. It's the same behavior. It's causing the same reaction in your life. And I've noticed from me separating from social media, it's caused a reaction in my life, but a better one in my mind. Like, it's caused a much better reaction in my mind, which is I feel fucking free. I don't feel trapped to upload constantly. I don't feel trapped because I'm on like 8 different social media sites, and now I don't upload to all of them as often as I should. Now, if I get big enough in my life where I can have like a team of people helping me run those 8 different social media sites, then yeah, I'd probably upload every day. And like, my videos are long enough where I could chop them up into I could chop one video up into 5 different minute videos for Instagram. I know that I could upload more content, right? But like I said, I've been trying to separate though. I've been trying to just balance my mind. I don't know if the connection we have with social media is healthy for us in the long run. It's great that we can all connect to each other. It's great that we can all learn. It's great that I have the ability to learn anything and everything I've ever wanted to learn right now. All I gotta do is type it in. That's all I gotta do. All I gotta do is type in whatever I want to know, and I can know it. If I want to talk to someone who I guess, for lack of a better word, is quote-unquote famous, I could message them if I wanted. I can comment on their things. I can get in contact with these people if I wanted. This is a beautiful, amazing world we live in. But separating from the reality, doing these plantietas, going on a spiritual journey, deep meditations, staying in a meditative mindset for days on end, not just because meditation is not just, no, meditation is a mindset. Meditation is this zone you're in, this vibe you're in. You're in it in a way. And after a meditation, a normal meditation like that, you could stay in that vibe for days if you find ways to stay in it. And especially with plantietas, it helps you stay in that meditative vibeness. But I've just come to the conclusion, sometimes on these motherwort experiences, because I did a plantieta with motherwort for a month and a half. So it's I feel when I take motherwort, it's a lot of times I'll just literally separate from society. I could literally sit there and stare at the ceiling for 2-3 hours and completely separate my mind from everything. It's it's on a whole nother level. And I think that humans are I feel like humans don't ever give themselves time to be with themselves. To genuinely sit there and think when's the last time you genuinely had time with yourself? With no technology, with nothing but your own head and your own mind, thinking about who you are, about who you want to be, about the dreams you have, about the things you want to accomplish, about the things you've done, about what you're going to do, about what you need to do. compared to what you don't want to do. Even though you don't want to do it, you need to do it. Like, there's things that people need to realize about themselves that they'll never realize because they never give themselves time to think to themselves, to be with themselves. Also, we live in a world that looks at plants as just food and things to extract drugs from, and then make drugs from the molecules in them, but when really these things are conscious beings that can teach us and guide us and help mold us into the people we want to be. They're just teachers. They're tools that can help expand or retract our consciousness. And I just, that's the way I look at it. That's why a lot of people probably look at it like, dude, oh, you're just doing drugs. Like, I've had people say that, like, you kind of live the life of a drug addict in a way. I was like, nah, I kind of live the life of a shaman in a way. It's like, it's the perspective. So the perspective that you have is key, because the perspective you have, at least the perspective I have, is that I'm trying to find myself, but not just find myself, because I know who I am, right? I'm no longer trying to find myself. I'm just trying to create the man that I see I could be when I'm 90 years old. Like, that's who I want to be right now. Why can't we be the wise old us? And I guess it's because, the old us went through more experiences. But I'm just saying that's why I'm going through experiences. That's why I've been doing plant dietas. That's why I've been learning. That's why I've been growing. And even though I'm going through hard times, what separating from society has taught me? It's taught me that I'm not going through hard times. That's your perspective. That's the world's perspective. That's society's perspective. That's some of my friends' perspectives. That's everyone else's perspective. Is that me being back at my mom's house for a brief amount of time because I fucked up and I couldn't pay the rent at my old apartment. People look at that as a huge fuck up, a huge setback. Like, oh my God, you're at your mom's. Oh my God. And it's like, separating from society has allowed me to separate society's views and my views. Like, do you even know what you truly believe? Like, or do you just believe what your parents taught you? Do you just believe what your teachers taught you? Do you just believe what I'm teaching you? Like, don't just believe people's words. Know who you genuinely are. Because some things I say, you're not going to agree with. You're not going to agree with everything I say because we're different people. What worked for me might not work for you. It might not work for you to go on plant dietas to try to find yourself, to fix your life. Maybe you need to just go get a damn job and go to work and get a house because that will generally make you feel better. But I just know in the end that's not going to genuinely make me feel better. Because what's going to make me feel better is being comfortable with being very fucking uncomfortable. What's going to make me feel better is the fact that if I could be happy in the worst time ever, then I have already won. I've already got it. I'm already successful. I already have something that most people lack, which is the awareness that true happiness comes from within. It comes from accepting the dark instead of trying to overpower it with light. It comes from just living, realizing that this life is not meant to be fucking roses. So many people in this world think this life is meant to be sweet and roses. No, this shit is meant to be bitter as fuck. But you're supposed to grow from the bitterness. You're supposed to learn to love the bitterness because, non-metaphorical for a second, reality is I love the taste of bitter plants. Like, so many people, if they ate bitter chocolate, or if they ate kratom, or if they ate like a blue vervain oil or a motherwort oil, or if they had yarrow tea, like none of these were sweetened, nothing was sweetened. A lot of these are bitter fucking plants, very bitter tasting plants. And a lot of people are like, oh, those things taste nasty. Me, over years of taking bitter molecules, I genuinely love the taste of bitters. I love my bitters. Like, I don't use sweetener for most bitters because why? I love the taste of it. And that's my thing. I feel like I'm starting to love the taste of the bitterness in my reality. It's like, yeah, I could change it, whatever, and things are gonna change. Like I said, I'm gonna get my business back up and running, and I know things will change because I'm gonna work harder than I've ever fucking worked before. But right now, I'm working harder on my mind than I've ever worked before. I'm trying to regain my self-love. I want my self-love at a higher point than it's ever been before. I want my genuine confidence at the highest point it could be before it reaches ego. I just want to be the best me I can be. And to be the best you can be, you have to go through obstacles. Look at how many people in the world, look at the world we live in now. I'm sorry for lack of a better word, but this is just lack of a better word, but I'm sorry, this is just how it is. I feel like a lot of the world is soft nowadays. And we're living in a softened society where people are, I don't know. And I understand, like, people are trying to be more feminine, and people are, like, I'm very feminine. I was raised by women. I am around women all the time. Like, that's just how it is. Like, I know that. But, so I'm very sensitive, and I probably cry more than most men do. And, like, but, I'm confused about that. But what I'm saying is, that doesn't mean we can't have tough skin as well. And, like, what I know in myself more than anything is I have very, 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 very tough skin. Like, and this is all because I'm separating myself. Like, last week, I ran down by the river 2-3 times with no shoes on. Not the whole time with no shoes on, but, like, I made a set time where I would be like, I'm not going to put my shoes back on until I get to the first rest stop. And there was snow on the ground, and people think this is fucking crazy. But for me, I am testing myself to see how fucking hard I really am. To see, this is true spirituality. True spirituality is direct experience, separating yourself, finding out who you are, finding out what works for you. And I'm just finding out this is what works for me. In order to become the man I want to be in the short amount of time I need it to be in, I need to push myself extremely hard. And that means I need to push myself hard spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. I need to, like, my morning routine, my 50 push-ups. I'm up to doing like 60 push-ups. One day last week I did 100 push-ups. Like, this is what I mean. Like, I'm trying to be the best me I can possibly fucking be. And what I've noticed is, because this is what I've been doing this past 2 months, like, it's just separated me from social media, and it's kind of like I've been out of the loop. I haven't watched any videos from, like, any entrepreneurs or any videos from really I've watched a little philosophy here and there. But really, for the past 2 months, I've been just falling back into myself, meditating, reminding myself who I am, learning, growing, evolving, so I can prepare for 2019. But, yeah, these are my plans. I don't have a New Year's resolution, necessarily. I just want to continue what I was doing last year, but just on another fucking level. You know, I want to be spiritual. I feel like a lot of people look at me like a spiritual person or like a whatever, but, like, I want to be 10 times more spiritual. Like, what's funny is because I pay attention to entrepreneur knowledge, philosophy, spirituality, psychedelics, science, just everything, right? And I've watched a bunch of videos from Grant Cardone, and I started reading his 10X. I'm only like 3 hours into his audiobook, but 10X, what's funny is a lot of these entrepreneur knowledge can be applied to spirituality, and a lot of spiritual knowledge can be applied to entrepreneurship. It would generally, I feel like they just balance each other out. They do not mix, though. What's funny is psychedelics and business do not mix whatsoever. Spirituality and business does not mix whatsoever. But if you can get them in a yin and yang balance with each other, then it's fucking perfect. But that's a video for another time. I'm gonna ramble on, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.